And yet you got black people talking about, oh, that's the past. Let's move into the future. We don't hear nobody like Spike Moss talking because that don't go on no more. The heck with the fact that every night when you turn on the national news, you see what's happening to you. At least you think you see what's happening to you. If they showed what's happening to you from coast to coast every day, there would be no other news. Because what's happening to you is tragic all over this country. While we running around talking about forget the past, we done had 2 black men dragged behind trucks till their bodies were torn apart. While we talking about forget the past, we had our students getting ready to be sentenced down south to prison because they rejected you hanging a noose on the school property. While we think of forget the past, Brother Al will tell you, this year in Mankato, they had a sign up in the student union. We got enough niggas, we just don't have enough rope. Minnesota, this year, while we talking about everything is in the past, everything in the past has caught up with you because it's never left you. The only thing is you went to sleep on your past. And you're so busy being in denial that anytime you see somebody stand up for you, you believe they're starting trouble. Instead of recognizing there's something happening to you that's not happening to no one else. The last shooting that they dared to show us on CNN last week, beating, they beat a brother on the ground. But when I saw that white man in his home who needed to go to the hospital, and his wife said, I'm gonna call the ambulance, and he said, no. He said, no, because I don't have the money and I don't have any insurance. She called him anyway. The paramedics came and tried to take him. He said, I can't go. I don't have any money, I don't have any insurance. They called the police. He's 64 years old. The police came to his home. They said, would you stand up, sir? He stood up and they tased him. 64 years old, you don't know what's wrong with him. He's at home, no crime committed, and he dropped to the floor. But it didn't end there. 64 years old, you don't know what's wrong with him. You tased him 3 more times. In my mind, I can see my people with no voice, nowhere to take anything. When they finally decided to count up the lynchings of our people, they had over 4,000 lynchings. 30-some of them was in Florida. How long were we lynched like that? Man, woman, and child. How many of us died like that for us to be so willing to forget our past? But if a cousin or a sister came by and borrowed $5 and said they're going to bring it back next Friday, we ain't never going to forget that. But we forget our past. We forget that no one gave us nothing that belongs to us as citizens. We fought for it. We went to jail for it. We died for it. Who was it? Black people, Indians, white people suffered for you to have the little that you have. Amen. Got you thinking that John Brown ain't no hero. He's the biggest hero you ever see, white. He tried to free you. You're sitting here looking at a situation here in Minnesota. When they talk about the past, it's the past. How can we put something together called a gang squad and they become a gang themselves? Burglarize our homes, carjack our cars, use strong-arm robbery tactics. And then when it's all said and done, the highest office held by the county attorney says he can't find enough evidence to do anything. I'm standing here before you to tell you that our children, every day, are going to jail with no evidence. They're being sentenced with no evidence. We got plenty of men in jail with no evidence, plenty of men in prison with no evidence. Chicago just released 100 men that you sent to prison with no evidence. Some of them already did 25, 30 years already. No evidence. Because racism comes into the picture when it's you. Amen. Racism is the reason we can't get no help with this gang problem. They already come to the conclusion, the mayor and them, that we need to get 15 years for putting our hands on a gun. Well, we're a community without a gun factory, without a gun wholesale house, warehouse. We don't even have a pawn shop with a gun. You have to bring the guns here. You changed the law for the child with his hat kicked to the left or the right, but you didn't change the law for the white gun runner who brings the guns in our community and gives those children brand new 9mm and never lets them run out of bullets so they can kill one another. He don't have to face nothing. That's right. You grab that little boy up there selling drugs that can't get a job nowhere, and you put him in there for having this much dope. But the dope dealer out in the suburb that supplies our community never goes to jail, never gets arrested. Your past ain't left you. Your past is still here with you. You're still treated different than any other American. So your past Your past is when they told you you couldn't vote. And right in front of your eyes, 2 times in a row, President Bush ran for the office of presidency, and both times they denied us in the country the right to vote in the cities of their choice. And nothing was done and nothing was said and no one went to jail.
All right.
In your lifetime, but I know you're going to say that's the past. In your lifetime, that happened down south, and that happened in Ohio, and that happened in Florida, and no one said nothing and no one did nothing. You were denied the basic right to vote. I mean, if you were considered a citizen, however. She said, controversial. I remember when they used to tell us when we stand up, we were controversial. How is a black man controversial talking about freedom in a free country unless it's controversial for a black man to think he should be free? Then they say we're political. If I was in Russia talking about freedom, I would be political because I'm going against what they believe in, which was communism. But how am I a political person in a free country talking about freedom unless it's a political situation if a black person is talking about being free? Constantly making a difference. Mr. Moss, how would you like to be addressed? A freedom fighter. I've been a freedom fighter my whole life.
All right.
Black activist Spike Moss said yesterday, you have to be an activist because they can't say you're being denied freedom. They can't say you're fighting for something just and fair. They got to say activist, and you say, well, what's an activist and what's he fighting about? You think your past left you. Your past is right here. Let me give you your past. You 12% of this nation's population, but you always almost 80-some% who's in prison. And America got more prisons than all the countries of the world put together, and you're 80-some% who's incarcerated. You in this state, one of the smallest populations in this state, but yet you're 40% of who's incarcerated, and most of them are our children. I started going to prison, 25 years of service to the prisons, and I talked to men for 25 years. Brother Zach and Booker's here, and Kelly's here. I took them to 3 prisons. We went all day. We went to every cell house, and we walked every galley, and we talked to every inmate face to face. And Booker's gonna tell you, Zach's gonna tell you, and Kelly's gonna tell you, we were talking to our babies. We weren't talking to no men. We spent all day, 9 to 9. Where's Booker at? It hurt Booker so bad, it brought him to tears to see all them children locked up. And I ain't trying to embarrass him. He know it hurt him. You said it left. It should have left in the chain gang. No, that's the new form of slavery. You take them out of the prison and then you put your little loud colored vest on and have them do their labor like they used to do back in slavery, all up and down the highway, and you think that's good for them. No. If he got to do some time, let him do some time. He don't deserve, because next thing you're going to do is crack the whip. Because you sat quiet talking about it yesterday. You think something's gone? If it's gone, then we were denied the right to an education. If you take it back, we were denied to put our hands on a book. We were denied the right to let our eyes even gaze in the book and let master find out you could actually read the book. You got your eyes and your tongue removed, your hands removed. We came from that to a struggle to go to public school. We got beat and we went to jail to go to public school. We're now in public school. And now that we're finally there, we got teachers that won't teach us.
All right. That's right.
Oh, somebody gonna say it's our fault. I know somebody gonna say it's our fault, but some of us ain't doing what we're supposed to do as parents. But you're gonna tell me that we're responsible for 7,000 students failing? We're responsible for 11,000 to 12,000 students a year suspended? There's something going on when the same problem is duplicated all the way across America. America's children are failing and falling behind, and there's no consequences. And you live in a state where when the president said, I'm going to give you this money, as long as you hold people accountable, and Minnesota said, we ain't signing up for that.